All right, guys, welcome into the Sunday morning edition of the Daily Juice live stream here on bettingpros.com. My name's Matt Perrault. We're here for 3 more games today. We did it yesterday. We're going to do it today. I'm going to change. I'm a little, let's see if I can adjust my camera here for just 1 second because I'm a little bit, I look like I'm a ghost. Let me see if I can do that really quickly on the fly here. Let me turn that down a little bit. Whatever. It's fine. You guys don't care, right? Yeah, there we go. We make it a little easier. Whatever. We're fine. All right, guys, let's get rolling here for the day today. So yesterday was not good, and it was one of those days where we were a razor-thin margin from having a really good day that turned into a horrible day, and things just go against you sometimes. And, you know, I appreciate kind of the well wishes and the notes and the DMs, and everyone's kind of giving me the attaboy, like, don't worry about it. But, yesterday was bad, really bad. And yesterday was the worst day in the Daily Juice's history. So, I missed the over on the Bills game by a half a point. We had, pretty much Washington nailed. We talked about this on the Daily Juice a lot. I talked about it on my radio show all week, where 9 was the number. And 9 was the number that was getting the professionals to come in and hammer Washington, and Washington loses by 8. So, that's the frustration that comes at it when you start to look at a game and breaking a game down. And, I wasn't sold that Washington was not going to get blown out. And then Alex Smith didn't get started. So, didn't play, didn't dress. And then, Taylor Heinicke played extremely well. That kid's going to be fun to watch. I hope he gets a chance to go and try to make a roster next year for somebody in the NFL. And so we missed that because we teased it up to 14. But, the over comes in, and I missed both unders yesterday, Washington and the middle game, which my brain's now not letting me remember, thankfully. But the Rams in Seattle. I said bet the Rams, and I should have just bet straight, and so I got a little bit exotic, I got a little crazy, and it burned me, okay? So that's what happens. The 0-5 mark on the props from yesterday's live stream has never happened before. We've never had an 0-5 mark like that. And, I had, Dan had 3, I had 2, DK Metcalf had, 5 catches. we bet under 4.5. The last touchdown catch for him was brutal. Some of you bet games late. So this is one of the benefit. I bet overnight. So my bets are made last night. So when I get up in the morning, the line movements, I often watch and see where the lines go. Sometimes it helps me, sometimes it hurts me, but that's the name of the game, and I signed up for this, so this is on me. But what happened yesterday was some of you guys who trailed me got better numbers, and thus you cashed. Like if you bet the over 50.5 yesterday morning, you hit because 51 was the total. So that was great to see. Some of you guys played the teaser, and that cash for you, that was the only thing I hit yesterday, was the Perrault 2-team teaser, which I'm now 14-7 on the year. So, that consistently hits. Bills down to a pick. Bingo. Told you to bet the Colts if it got to 7. It got to 7. And then people were sending me screenshots and text messages saying, hey, I got 7. Should I take it? I was like, yeah, take the Colts at +7. Absolutely. And then the Colts wind up, losing by 3. So that was a good thing. So, I guess the name of the game is that even though my picks weren't hitting, we gave you good information, which is the whole point, okay? To give you good information, to let you guys make your own decisions with your own wagers. I want to win money. I don't want to lose. I have a record. They're keeping track, right? So that record is important, okay? So we wound up going 52% in 2020. We were up 11.4 units. We're way down here to start 2021. Now, we'll go slow. We've got a whole, months to go. A long time to go here. This is not, we've been doing the Daily Juice now for 188 consecutive days. Okay. Every day, 188 consecutive days. We're going to see how many days in a row we can do this, what the streak will wind up being, but this is sort of like an experiment in, in survival in a lot of ways. How long can I get this going? How long can I keep my bankroll from going away? Like all the things that are out there when you bet every single day. So I'm not happy with the start, but, it's gambling, right? It's the waves. And so hopefully today we rise back up. You will see my plays over here. If you want to fade them, I'm not going to be angry with you. For those of you who might be new, who haven't heard the Daily Juice or just kind of flipping around on YouTube and kind of stumbled into this live stream, for me, When I am cold, I shrink. I turtle. Some people push on. Some people feel more comfortable, like they want to win it all back. I don't like chasing. It's not really what I do. And I try to make smarter wagers, and then I eliminate wagers. Like, I would today bet the Saints to destroy the Bears. Okay, I would lay the 10 points. I would go all in. I think it's a trendy dog, but I'm not betting it. Okay, I'm not touching it. I'm not even touching that game, really, except for prop bets. And I have no real feel for the Bears this year. It's why I'm wearing the Bears hat, because I have no feel for the Bears. And so I figured normally I'm wearing the hat of the team I need to win. I have nothing on that game going, really, besides I have 2 prop bets going that we'll get to here in a second on the Bears game. I don't know what to make of it, to be frank. I have no idea how that game goes. Michael Thomas coming back. I think he has a monster game. Alvin Kamara coming back after COVID. I don't know about COVID. That's often scary after somebody had legitimate COVID-19, what they look like in the days afterwards in the first game after having COVID-19. So I don't know what to make of Alvin Kamara. I don't know about Drew Brees, the injury, the ribs, Taysom Hill. I can't stand Mitch Trubisky. I think he's horrible, but he's playing statistically really well, so it's tough to fade him. That game is really hard. I would bet the Titans plus 3.5 today, okay? I think the Titans are going to win the game again, and the hook there matters at 3.5 if you can get it or buy it up to it. I think it matters. I think it's a field goal game one way or the other. I have teased that game up. So I'm just giving myself a cushion. I'm taking the Titans at home as home dogs up to 9.5. And I do not, and I stress this, I do not understand how people are betting the Browns. I do not understand how smart people who understand football are betting the Cleveland Browns today with the number of players out for COVID-19. Forget the time that they played last week. Forget Baker Mayfield. Forget the running game. They're missing their left guard, who is arguably the best pass-protecting left guard in football. They're going to blitz up the middle all day long, okay? They are missing numerous cornerbacks. They are missing a ton of talent and their head coach and their play caller for this game against Pittsburgh. Heinz Field has been a house of horrors for Cleveland. The numbers are horrific for Cleveland. You're telling me that they're going to exercise all those demons today? I can't see it. I really can't. I bet Pittsburgh minus 5.5. The number is back down to 5.5. I teased it down to a pick as well with a 6-point teaser because it was 6 last night. I bet 5.5 on Friday. That's my 2-leg teaser. Pittsburgh as a pick, and I'm going for plus 9.5 for the Titans at home against the Ravens. I do not know. I can't go near sides and totals, but to me, if I had to bet sides and totals, I probably would take the unders again today. I think this is probably going to be an under day, but yesterday wasn't unders, and I won't touch it. I mean, yesterday I bet 2 unders. Neither came close to hitting. I bet 1 over, and I missed it by a 0.5 point. So totals and me, bye-bye. No, I'm not coming near it. I'm not touching the totals. We're not going near that at all. So on that. Some breaking news from the NFL. According to the NFL Network, Drew Brees will retire at the end of the year. So that's it. Drew Brees will become a broadcaster once he is done here. This is his last run. Does that influence this game today? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, in terms of padding stats, maybe. I mean, I could see Drew Brees. He wants that. I mean, he's not going to get it because Brady's coming back next year. So Brady's going to have the touchdown passing record and probably put it in a place that won't be touched for decades. But I mean, maybe Mahomes will break it, in 2040, something like that. But that's going to be a long time before we see anybody touch that record once Brady. I think Tom is going to play next year, and then I think he'll probably walk away. If he wins the championship this year, could I see him walking away? Yeah, but Brees is just, he's been incredible. He really has. And the fact the guy wasn't supposed to be a great quarterback after the shoulder injury in Miami, going on to do what he's done with New Orleans is truly remarkable. So he, according to the NFL Network, Drew Brees will retire at the end of the year. Again, does that matter for today against the Bears? I don't know, but I would definitely see if there's a chance for Drew to pad his stats. I think he will. He's not been good this year. So, I think he's recognizing, looking at the Father Time on the wall, right? Writing on the wall saying it's, be careful, you should walk away now before you walk away with people kind of hanging their heads on you. So can the Saints win the Super Bowl this year? I mean, my Super Bowl was Saints-Titans. Okay, that's what I predicted at the early part of the year, Saints-Titans. So, that's why I had to I have to say the Titans are going to win today because, otherwise it's, there you go, my AFC pick. I get it. It's a hot take with the Steelers and the Chiefs and everything else. That was preseason. It's why I bet the over 9.5 wins for an alternative win total for the Titans, which definitely helped. And, we'll make some more future bets here as we roll through. We'll get into baseball and whatnot, and we'll have some more opportunities to cash. Because really, if you want to know why we did so well last year, being up, over 11 units in 2020, it was because of the future bets that we hit, mostly in the NBA and in Major League Baseball, and then with a good Masters bet and whatnot. So there's a lot of things that we hit on that we hit well to kind of help the bankroll go up. We've slowly started to give that back. Let's stop that today here. Only 2 full units going for me with the teaser, the Perrault 2-team teaser. So we're 14-7, like I mentioned. See if we can go 15-7 on that today. And then, in order for me to miss, the Ravens have to kill the Titans. Can it happen? Yeah, but I don't really see it. And then the Browns have to win and knock out the Steelers. Again, I'm going cold enough to recognize that I might be dead wrong about that game. I just don't know how the hell the Browns win that game. I just don't understand how the Browns win that game, given everything that they're dealing with, all the problems they've got going on. Roethlisberger's going to get beat by a COVID team at home in the playoffs? I just can't see it. Okay, let's get to the money line movements here. FanDuel puts us out every morning to see where they are money-wise. All right, so the Ravens are up to 3.5-point favorites on the road at the Titans. Everyone is talking about this stat, and I am scared to death of it if I'm betting these games. 14-1 to the closing number since 2017 in the wild card round for the Dogs. Against the spread, the Dogs are 14-1. That would be the Titans here at home to the Ravens at plus 3.5. It is the closing number because yesterday the closing number for Washington was plus 10, so they covered that. At one point it was 7.5. So unfortunately, if you had bet plus 7.5, you didn't cash. But that is a pretty significant number. For 8, 9, you guys all cashed and then are pushed and then cashed, and then 10, you cashed easily. So plus 3.5, 60% of the money is on Baltimore minus 3.5. It's a public side, but it hasn't shown up in Vegas as a public side. That's one of the big surprises today. According to the bookmakers who are talking to people, the public has not come in here on the Baltimore Ravens, and mostly it's because of the 2 wins, I think, that the Titans have had against the Ravens. I think the public is a little bit scared away of that. They don't want to go ahead and jump on that. So the Titans plus 3.5. The money line 52-48 on the money in favor of the Ravens, but pretty much a split 50-50 on the money line for the Ravens and the Titans. I'm glad that's the first game of the day too. And then 70% of the bets and 68% of the money is coming in on the over 54 in this game. If I had to bet the side here, I'd bet the under. This is your reverse line movement game again. You got 54.5 was the pretty much it was painted at 54.5, and now it's down to 54 with 68% of the money and 70% of the bets coming in on the over. So we're going the other way for the money and the bets because professional and respected money is coming in here on the under. So Ravens Titans under, I would probably lean that way, but I'm not betting that. Bears and the Saints. The number is now 10.5 as everyone's coming in here on New Orleans, but the public is buying it back a little bit here as we're at 47% of the tickets are on the Bears and 41% of the money is on the Bears to cover the 10.5-point line. 92% of the money is coming in here on the New Orleans Saints to win the game on the money line. 66% of the bets and 68% of the money on the over 48.5 for the Bears and the Saints. If I were to bet this game, I would bet the over for the Bears and the Saints. I do think the Bears and the Saints are going to have points. The question is, how many points will the Bears score? Same thing like we did yesterday when we were breaking it down for the Bills. I thought the Bills would score 30 points. They scored 27. If the Bills had scored 30, we win and we're over. We had it right. I said I need 20-plus points from the Colts, and the Bills get 30. The Bills fell short. The Bills only got 27. That was the wrong handicap. We got the Colts right in terms of points scored. just not the Bills. Same thing here. The Saints start pretty much with 30 points. Okay, 30 points with the Saints. How many points will the Bears score? If they get to 20, you're good, right? If the final score is 30-20, the over hits. So how many points will the Bears defense give up? That's the question. And that's how we have to. So, like, if you think the Bears defense will have a great job holding down this offense, then yeah, you should probably go ahead and take the under if you want, 48.5. But if I were to bet this game, I would bet the over. And then finally, Cleveland and Pittsburgh. The number is now down to 5.5. As I mentioned, I don't get this. 73% of the money, 65% of the bets coming in here on the Steelers laying 5.5. 80% of the money on the Steelers money line, and 58% of the bets and the money are on the over 47.5. I have no read for how that game goes. If I gun to my head, I probably would say under 47.5. But I don't know. I really don't know. I don't hate this teaser, and I was talking to some people in the Discord chat a little bit about this. If you want more action, to tease all the dogs up. So tease the Bears to 16.5, tease the Titans up to 9.5, and tease the Browns up now to, well, it would have been 12, but now it would be 11.5. So you tease all three dogs up. You should be able to get some decent money on that. You should be able to get, 2-1, 2.5-1 on that for a 3-leg teaser. I don't believe all three teams are going to cover today. Okay, obviously, I bet the Steelers minus 5.5. So clearly, I don't believe that. But maybe, again, I'm not going to stand up on tables here and tell you that I'm right and everybody else who's betting the Browns is wrong. I don't see it. I don't care that they played last week. I don't care that there's been some sort of, that the Browns are playing the us versus me mentality thing, that the injuries for the Steelers defense is really significant, that, Ben Roethlisberger's elbow is not the same, and that James Conner is not really a great running back. All those things, I don't really care. It's just a basic breakdown of you haven't practiced in 7 days. You haven't practiced. You haven't been around each other. You haven't been preparing other than over Zoom. You don't have your play caller who's going to be at home with his cell phone off watching the game on a 60-inch television like you do and I do. Okay, he's going to be sitting in his living room watching the game like us. And tell me the Browns are going to go into Pittsburgh and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers today? Again, you can be rah-rah Browns. You got to make a case, and I can't. No one's made a case that makes any sense to me without your starting left guard, without two cornerbacks, without your coach and your play caller. That all of a sudden this dude, Alex Van Pelt is going to call the game of his life. I guess so. We saw two backup quarterbacks yesterday do really well. Wofford, I haven't seen an update on John Wofford's neck yet. Hopefully that guy's going to be okay. He was good. I love the fact the Rams won, by the way, because I picked the Rams to win that game based upon John Wofford. I thought he'd have a great game. Jared Goff played like crap. I hope Wofford comes back, but I doubt it, given that neck injury. Just real. Aaron Donald's got an injury now. Having to go on the road next week for the Rams is going to be not great. But that's for next week. By the way, next week we will do a Saturday and Sunday live stream again. Double. We'll do that again with the double. Okay? All right, so let me get to the prop bets here. That's where the money line's going, and those are my leans and where I think you should go here with that. Here are the prop bets for today. We're going to get back on the track, and we're going to shrink like we always do. Okay, Ryan Tannehill, 237.5 yards. We're going over that. I like that up to 250 over. I think you're going to stop Derrick Henry. That means they're going to throw the football over the top. If you want to go ahead and sprinkle in A.J. Brown as well with either yards or receptions, feel free to go ahead and do that. But Tannehill is going to throw the football today, I believe, for the Titans. Dan Harris and I agree. Ryan Tannehill over 237.5 yards passing. Then Michael Thomas back for the Saints. This is always dangerous. Okay, I will admit this is a dangerous bet because if he's not healthy with the ankle, we're banking that he's healthy. Over 69.5 yards receiving and over 5.5 receptions. Michael Thomas all day long against the Bears. Bears have two guys out of that secondary. One starting linebacker out today. The Saints are going to feast throwing the football, in particular to this dude, to Michael Thomas. And then the James Conner prop, I did not bet it. Here's the James Conner prop. If you want it, this is sort of like the bonus prop. So 3 props going today for sure. But James Conner over 12.5 rushing attempts. Only if you can find it with plus money. I couldn't find it in Vegas. I couldn't find it anywhere for plus money this morning. If you guys can find James Conner over 12.5 rushing attempts, you can bet it if it's plus money. I didn't bet it. This is not for the official. This does not count, okay? 3 prop bets going, 2 bets, 3 props. That's what's going today for the Daily Juice. James Conner over 12.5 rushing attempts is an opportunity for you guys to get some extra action if you want. If you can find it with plus money, got to find it with plus money. Don't lay any juice on Conner's rushing attempts at over 12.5 for the Steelers. So Tannehill over, Thomas over receptions are the prop bets going for today. All right, let's get to some of your questions here on the 42-10 Browns. You want to give me 32 points? DM me. I will bet you. I will take that action all day long. Okay. What do you want to make? What do you want to bet? You give me Steelers plus 32, and I'm good. Okay. Whatever you want. Name the stakes. Okay. Steelers plus 32. I'm in. Please. I'm in. 45-3 to Browns. Okay. So you want to give me 42 points? I will. I'll bet my car. All right. That is, you want to give me 42 Steelers plus 42, please. Again, DM me at Sports Talk Matt on Twitter. Let's talk. Okay. You want to give me 42 points? Let's go. Let's talk. I had to go smash the Steelers at minus 5.5. So I liked it at 6. Look, there's that philosophy, right? That if you liked it at 6, why wouldn't you like it at 5.5? Okay. I mean, I don't always like doing that. Remember, I'm a pretty conservative bettor. Okay, how I bet 1 unit, I flat wager. It's why I survive days like yesterday and I don't get annihilated. I don't give everything back because I know days like yesterday are always lurking where you're just a little bit off, right? We had, 4.5 receptions, the under for DK Metcalf. He ended with 5. I had Robert Woods over 52 yards receiving. He had 48. We're just right there. 51.5 to the over, 51's the final. There are days like that where you're just a little off. You're just not where you should be. I think you just bet it once and leave it alone. If the number goes against you, who cares? Don't rebet it. I don't believe in that. Okay, so you got a worse number. That stinks. It's a 0.5 point. Could you lose the bet because of it? Kinda, but in all honesty, you probably won't. So the line, it just tells you where the money is going more than anything. The money's going against you, but that's not a big deal. I mean, again, I don't get the Browns' love at all. And I hope it's a public move. I hope the public is coming on the Browns because of everyone seeing dogs, right? 14-1, 14-1. This is a very unique set of circumstances for dogs in the wild card round for Cleveland. All day today, we'll go under. I'm not going to argue with you. Not going to argue. Matt, did you mention on the Daily Juice that you were going to watch out when you're so confident when a pick after yesterday's picks? Yes, I did. I did mention that. So if those of you who haven't heard the Daily Juice podcast every day on where you get your podcasts, I made a joke that while I was doing my research, I actually wrote down here on this little pad of paper. I wrote down trouble, picks, you feel too good. Okay, that's what I wrote on a piece of paper. Right? This is where I do all my research here for the Daily Juice. It's where I record the Daily Juice. And I wrote that I felt too good. So, yeah, I mean, you're right to point that out about me feeling too good about Pittsburgh. You're right to point that out. But I'm not alone here. I mean, I'm going through text messages and phone calls and interviews and people I have broken games down with on my radio show, on my XM show. No one understands this. Everybody's they're just betting the 14-1. That's why they're betting it. They're betting it because the dogs in the wild card round are 14-1. Okay, again, that's a psychotic trend, but you have to talk about each game individually. And I wasn't wrong about Washington. I said plus 10, take Washington. It got to 10. Washington covered. I said take the Rams plus 3.5. Rams covered plus 3.5. Okay, I thought the Colts would cover. If it got to 7, bet the Colts plus 7. Okay, the Colts covered. So like, it's not that I'm not seeing the games right. It's just that I'm firing on sides that I probably shouldn't. I'm getting too exotic, and I do this from time to time where I have to kind of come back to the basics and getting with teasers and exotic plays and just getting concerned about I'm not entirely right. But if I had bet the Colts +7. Now, these are all numbers I can't get overnight, okay? You got to remember, I bet overnight. So it does put me in a little bit of a disadvantage for the daily juice. It's not that I haven't bet these games in other places and before kickoff and whatnot. I've got way more going every day than what I talk about on the daily juice, okay? That's just because the numbers, betting right before the game, sometimes there are much better numbers. So Colts +7 yesterday was a great play, okay? Rams +3.5 yesterday. It was creeping up to 4 at some places for the Rams. Great play, right? The line went all the way up to 10.5 at certain places for Washington. Loved it, right? I thought Alex Smith was playing, but I loved it. +10.5, take it. So, again, it's not that I'm not it's not that I am, handicapping incorrectly. It's just I'm not making the right plays for the daily juice, and I'm not sharp. My favorite plays make the daily juice. Okay, that's what I give out, are my favorite plays of the day. Yesterday was one of those days where my favorite plays sucked. Bottom line, straight up, they sucked. But a lot of you guys followed. A lot of you guys, I got a bunch of messages of people saying they bet the Colts once it hit 7. You bet the Colts once it hit 10. You bet Washington. Great. That's perfect. That's what my job is. My job is to give you that information for you to go make your own decisions. Irregardless of what I make and what I bet, your job is to get as much information as possible. And if my info helps you win wagers, I'm doing my job. Let's see. Patrick, what are you asking me now? You're asking me, didn't you post that in the Discord? I don't know what that means. I don't know what I post. Let's see. Ouch, picking on a guy that has metal rods in his hands. Look, Jeremy, I understand that. I got that a bunch yesterday when I was saying Jared Goff played like garbage. I give him a ton of credit and a ton of respect for playing yesterday. But that was your typical Jared Goff. Did Jared Goff look that differently to you in that game? Jared Goff is not worth the money they're paying him, okay? His decision, if the ball came out funky all the time, but he was making the right reads, then I would say, man, that stinks. He tried really hard and he just couldn't do it. He was getting sacked. He was getting hit. He was making bad reads. It wasn't the ball coming out. It was how he was playing with his head, not his hand. So I don't think that's really, you could say, well, maybe his head was screwed up because his hand hurt. Okay, and his thumb was swelling up like a balloon. I'll give you all that. What that guy played through was incredible. I also really criticize the fact they didn't put Blake Bortles, they didn't get a third quarterback ready, a practice squad player. I mean, somebody to be able to come in as an emergency quarterback if Jared Goff couldn't play. I would have rather them just ran Wildcat the entire time. Like, I would have rather them just gone ahead and find a wide receiver to come in and just run the football than what was going out there for Jared Goff, because he hurt his team. He nearly lost that game with him out there. So, look, Jared Goff is way overpaid. He hasn't done what you would hope he would do after giving him all that money. And Sean McVay is a great coach. I love Sean McVay. But he's got a problem because I think John Wolford's a better quarterback for that offense. He's faster, he's quicker, the ball comes out quicker, not that elongated motion that Jared Goff has. I just think it's a mistake. But you have to live with it. You give him a huge contract, you just got to live with it because he's your guy. Let's see. Matt, I'm getting a lot of people asking me, when you say 50% of the bets are one way and 50% of the money is one way, can you explain that to everyone? Okay, Chad. So when I talk about money movement, okay, how can I do this? How can I show you this? Let me see if I can do this on my phone so I can show you guys what I get sent. Okay, this is what I get sent. Okay, let's see if it shows up on the live stream. Okay, I get sent that. Okay, that's what I get emailed from the books, from FanDuel. Okay, see how it says FanDuel Sportsbook? I know that's not really all that clean, but that's the email that I get sent. Okay. That email, all those graphs that you're seeing on that email from FanDuel, that is where the money is, okay? So when I say, let me just take for example, okay? For example, we're looking at the Ravens and the Titans. Baltimore is getting 52% of the bets, meaning 5.2 of every 10 bets are coming in on Baltimore. But 60% of the money is coming in on Baltimore. What that means is 6 out of every $10 bet are coming in on the Baltimore Ravens, minus 3.5. All right. I got this question yesterday. Somebody said, how do you know when public money's coming in on one side? Well, here's how I know. The Saints are getting 92% of the money, $9.2 out of every 10 are being bet on the Saints to win the game today, on the money line. They're laying the big juice on the New Orleans Saints. That's public money. All right. The professionals, there are probably in this country, there are probably 5,000 people you would consider to be a professional sports gambler. Okay. That's always been my ballpark number. Somebody who is actually making their living betting sports. Professionals. And most of them are syndicates. Most of them are people who have grouped together to create these groups of like 4 to 5 really sharp people, and they're all running through numbers and algorithms, and they're doing all sorts of big things, and they've got what's called a runner. A runner is somebody in Vegas who gets a bag full of money, who goes and sits at the book with a cell phone and waits for a phone call. And when the number goes, the algorithm goes, ding, this book has got this number. And then your bag guy, when we say bag guy, the bag guy then goes and makes the wager. Now, there's a variety of reasons why the bag guy is making that wager. Sometimes it's a fake line move. Sometimes they put 50 grand on Monday to bet 100 grand or 300 grand on Tuesday or Friday or Saturday, right? Sometimes they move the number to where they want it to be. If they don't like it at 6.5, well, okay, let's go ahead and bet a huge number on this number to get it to go to 7, and then we come in on the other side and we hammer the 7, okay? That's why money movements in line, and the information that I'm giving you guys, this is just kind of a lay of the land, like where we are. You should not be betting this or following this. You should not be involved in that because it's all misdirection. You don't know why the books are giving me this information. And so like when the books come out and say, so $88,000 alternative spread plus 3.5. Okay, that came out on Thursday. That's a major bet that they've got going today. Somebody's on the Titans at plus 3.5 at minus 110 for $88,000. Okay, why did they tell us that? I don't know. Is it because they want you to trail? Maybe. Or is it because they want you to fade it? Maybe. We don't know why they're telling us that. They're just telling us. Do they want the free publicity? Do they just want to tell people? Why is FanDuel the only one providing this information every morning? I don't know. The books will talk. They'll talk to me. They'll talk to Patrick Everson. They'll talk to other reporters who are out there covering the industry via text message, but via phone call, via DM. I'll get information from DraftKings, from Johnny Avello. I'll get information from PointsBets. I'll get information from BetMGM, right? I mean, that information is out there. They will provide it. They will say, do we trust them? I mean, we have to, but can they lie? Absolutely they can lie. Do they have to tell us the truth? No. There's nothing against it. We just have to take them at face value. And we have to trust that what they're telling us is real. But why would you tell somebody information that would hurt you as a business, right? Always remember that this sports book game is a business. Their job is to beat you and to beat me, to take our money. They're being paid a salary to do that. If they're not good at that, they get fired. Okay? So always remember, always keep in mind that there is an adversarial relationship between us and the books. All right? We get along great, and we both love doing this, and it's so very fun what we do. And I love what we do every single Sunday, every single day during the, for the Daily Juice, every day. But the relationship between us and the books, I mean, we are kind of like Fox and the Hound, okay? This is two different. We are kind of in the opposite. We're different, okay? We're different, and we're on opposite teams. So just keep that in mind whenever information is out there. Always look at it a little bit sideways and kind of question, why is that coming out, and why is that there, and why are you telling me? And in all honesty, we never really know. And that's what stinks really about it. We never really know why they're telling us that information. Give us a don't bet parlay. Okay, I did. Okay, so a don't bet parlay would be the teaser. Okay, 3-leg teaser. Titans to 9.5, Bears to 16.5, and the Steelers to 11. And the Browns to 11.5. There's your 3-leg teaser. There's your don't bet a parlay, which, by the way, I have bet today. So I have bet that today. So if you want to, normally I don't give those out, but I don't bet parlays. I don't talk about betting parlays. Today I did because I just, for fun, I just wanted to see how stupid this is. And if by chance this 14-1 run continues and we go to 17-1 in the wild card round, I just wanted to give myself a little extra juice there, a little extra attention, a little extra cushion for 6 points. So, maybe the Titans lose by 5, we cover that. Maybe the Bears lose by 14, we cover that. Maybe the Browns lose by 10, we cover that. So, just in case it goes the other way, the games are tight, but they cover all these numbers today, and, favorites go 3-0 and dogs go 0-3. Maybe we have a chance to kind of, save ourselves a bit. So that would be my don't bet a parlay for today if you'd like to trail or have something on that for all 3 games. Any line movement this morning? The line movement this morning basically has been Ravens to 3.5, Saints to 10.5, and Steelers down to 5.5. So half a point on all 3 of those games. You want the prop bets again here, so someone's just joining it looking for prop bets. We're going Ryan Tannehill over 237.5 yards passing. Michael Thomas over 69.5 yards receiving. Michael Thomas over 5.5 receptions. Obviously, we expect the Saints to pound the rock to Michael Thomas. And then James Conner is only if you find it with plus money. Do not pay juice on James Conner over 12.5 rushing attempts. Do not pay juice on this. I did not bet this. Bet these 3. Do not bet this. So this is just an extra one if you want it. I bet those 3 prop bets today. So 3 props in 2 plays, 2 full units. So we have 3.25 units in action here today. Hopefully we can go trying to get a 3-0. Well, trying to get a 5-0 mark today. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to bounce back, go 5-0, and then wind up getting myself winning back some of the money we lost yesterday. But I'm not chasing. I'm just trying to limit, shrink, turtle, if you will. Let's see. What's the Derrick Henry prop? It's a good question. I haven't seen it. I don't hate it, but you know what the Ravens are going to do, right? I mean, they're just going to line up and try to stop Henry and force Tannehill to throw. That's why we like Tannehill. So that's why it's kind of pick or choose, right? Either you pick Tannehill to throw the football a ton, or you pick Henry to run a ton. So that's why Dan and I agree that it's Ryan Tannehill that they're going to throw the football versus run the football. So let's see. So tease all 3. Yes, if you want to play that, tease all 3 games up. Isn't the don't bet a parlay every parlay? Yes. I don't recommend betting parlays. Correct. But I know this is the live stream is kind of like this is where a lot of people who aren't part of the Daily Juice Discord chat or aren't part of the Daily Juice listener audience, you guys find out and bump into this. I know there's a lot of people on YouTube that kind of just you're surfing around and someone's live and you click on it and you're like, who the hell is Matt Perrault? Part of what we do on the Daily Juice is I talk a lot about flat wagering. I talk a lot about don't bet parlays. But we have a thing every Friday where, because you guys do bet parlays, I know you do, and so a doctor says, eat a lot of green vegetables. Not everybody eats green vegetables, right? So I get it. Just because I'm telling you what the right thing to do is doesn't mean you're going to do it. But in terms of, I know you like to do it. So every Friday I give out a don't bet a parlay. We are 1 in 3 so far on those parlays, or 1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2. Sorry, 1 and 2. We didn't do it this Friday because all the games I just forgot to do it. So today we're coming back. So today will count. Okay, let's do the 3-leg. I'll put this in the Discord chat. I'll at everyone. The don't bet a parlay officially for this week because I missed it on Friday is the 3 dogs teased up. Okay, so there you go. So that's your official don't bet a parlay. It doesn't qualify as it normally would because normally it has to be 5-1. I made a rule that it had to be 3 or more legs and it had to be at least 5-1. But because we missed it, I'll just go ahead and we'll just use that for today. I'll put that in the Discord chat. If you guys don't know what the Discord chat is, we have over 2,700 people who have joined the Discord over the last 4 months, really 3 months, I think it is. But it's bettingpros.com bettingpros.com/chat is the website to go to. You click the link. It walks you through how to get in, and then you're in, and you're a part of the Discord channel. It is live. It's a live chat room, basically, and it goes really fast, and there are tons of people in there on game day. There are some very sharp people in there that make picks and plays, and it's just a community. And it's what I've always wanted to build for the Daily Juice, is just we are all in there together. My plays are discussed. You can say whether you like them or you don't like them, and you can say, I faded Matt, I followed Matt, great pick Matt, awful pick Matt. Fine. There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just your fellow gambler, your fellow player, and somebody, people all over the country. We literally have people from all over the world in the Discord chat. Last time I checked, I think we had like 4 or 5 different countries. Big in Canada, big in Mexico, good in the UK. People coming on over and being a part of it. So I know you may not know about that. Like, isn't every day Don't Bet a Parlay? Yeah, every day is Don't Bet a Parlay. But every Friday I do give one of them out just for fun with the Daily Juice. The boys in Discord chat posted that Smith and Mooney are out for today's game. Thank you. I appreciate that. Why don't you give out a green vegetable for your parlay? Okay. Henry's rushing prop is over 120.5. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you for that. DK has Connor over 12.5 attempts at plus 105. Ooh, I like that. There you go. There's your plus money, okay? That was not plus money this morning, so that's great. In Vegas, my prop bet options, I bet the props overnight. I bet them in the morning. I shop around, but plus 105, so you can play it if you want. That's James Conner, over 12.5 rushing attempts at plus 105. So as Dan said, don't bet that unless you have plus money on that. Okay, this is supposed to be 30 minutes, so we've gone a little bit over on that, but Dan wanted me to say this. Hold on. Dan Harris sent me a text message this morning, and he said, FYI, my 2-team teaser for today is Titans plus 9.5 and the Steelers pick 'em. So Dan and I are both riding. And Dan said my 2-team teaser was the only thing that hit yesterday. Me too was the only thing that hit yesterday. So we're both on that. And Dan, again, said, hey, we were sorry about the prop bets yesterday. We assumed that Alex Smith was playing for Washington, and he did not. So, yeah, we did handicap it that way. But it still hit from a, numbers perspective, but the prop bets did not come through at all. The prop bets were all messed up yesterday, so we went 0-5. First time we've ever had an 0-5 in the I think we started doing this in week 2, after week 2, so 17 weeks of 15. So in the 16 weeks of us doing the live stream here on the Betting Pros YouTube channel, we had never had an over on the prop bets. That was the first time, 0-5 yesterday with the prop bets. So hopefully we come back today. Let's go 4-0 on those prop bets today. Let's go 2-0 on my picks. Let's get a 6-0 day up here and let's hit here and let's do some good. So, okay, once again, let's go through the props one time before we wrap. Ryan Tannehill over 237.5 yards passing. Michael Thomas over 69.5 yards receiving. Michael Thomas over 5.5 receiving yards. Receptions, and James Conner over 12.5 rushing attempts, plus 105 at DraftKings. Go bet that. There. 4 bets, 0.25 units, 1 unit in play. Losing that. Here, 1 unit each. Teaser, Steelers minus 5.5. 2-team teaser, Titans plus 9.5. Steelers do a pick. Okay, those are my 2 full units. 1 unit, 3 units in play. Let's win back some of the money we lost yesterday. Let's kind of stop the bleeding, if you will, and then move on to Monday. By the way, before I wrap, I gave this out last night on the Daily Juice podcast. If you are betting the national championship game, I have already bet Alabama minus 7. I understand that number is way gone now, so it kind of sucks that I gave it out. But I want you guys to know officially I'm on Alabama tomorrow night minus 7. We won't do a live stream tomorrow, but we probably will have some props going for that game. There'll probably be some interesting opportunities to bet that game. Because they're going to book it like an NFL game, like a Super Bowl. You're going to have a monster handle tomorrow night. It won't break it all down. But Alabama minus 7 is my pick for the national championship game. I think Bama wins by double digits. I think they win by 10. I think Ohio State just played their Super Bowl, and I know everyone wants to bet Ohio State, and that's why I'm comfortable fading it, because Alabama has been bad in the second half. They've been great in the first half. Betting Bama in the first half is kind of a given, right? For the championship game, you just kind of go ahead and do it. Jalen Waddle, by the way, is in Tampa, right? So or Miami, right? Not Tampa, Miami, right? Where the game is, wherever the game is. That's where I forget where they're playing the championship game. I'm sorry, I should remember that, but my brain's on the NFL right now. But he was seen with Alabama, so he traveled to the game. Is Jalen Waddle playing? If that dude plays, that would be huge for Bama. Even from a decoy perspective, that would be huge for Alabama to have Jalen Waddle. Remember, he's better than Devontae Smith. He's better than the Heisman Trophy. He's wide receiver 1, not Devontae Smith. He's wide receiver 2, and he won the Heisman. So give you an idea of what that kid's talent's like and what he could do on the field if healthy, which is, my gosh, he broke his ankle badly early in the year. So, again, okay, so my name is Matt Perrault. Daily Juice every single day where you get your podcasts, 15-minute podcasts with picks and plays and breaking down games. We'll be in the Discord all 3 games today, bettingpros.com/chat for that. 10 hours of football. I smoked all my ribs and food yesterday, so I got all leftovers to kind of heat up and get ready here. I'm a little bit hungover from yesterday, so I don't think I'll drink as much as I did yesterday, but I had to drink away my sorrows after what happened yesterday. So hopefully for a better time and a better day. We are back next Saturday and Sunday. Same place, same time. We'll do it for 2 games Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, picks and plays as we go through this, and then back for the championship round for 1 on Sunday, and then Super Bowl. We've got some plans. We're not really ready to release them yet. We're trying to do some testing and whatnot to see what we can do for the Super Bowl, but we may have some news in the coming days for a big, cool Super Bowl deal for the Daily Juice audience. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Thank you for being here. We'll talk to you next week here on the live stream for the Daily Juice and bettingpros.com for the NFL playoffs.